Just got home. Got home. Michael on Starlink, and what that is that is the well, that is the zoomed out camera. Camera one that is zoomed in. It's like up in his face. Anyway, I decided to make a YouTube video because my signal is going in and out, and I'm waiting for a message on my grinder, my growler, and my scruff. I look very Spanish today, but yeah, it's cold. It's a Friday. Sat here for an hour on the last live stream update outside because as soon as I went around the curve coming back to the trailer, it said no signal again, like a stingray. And so when I'm in the trailer, the signal has personality like murder suicide. This is why I spent an hour video last night on that only made a 10-minute video. They chase them. They chasing people down. My God. I said, where the fuck is the government? Where is our government? So I do my SOS. We have no government. We're in their wave. No, somebody got naked. Oh. Anyways, multiple Whataburgers. We want Whataburger. Why did they build so many damn Chick-fil-A's and McDonald's and Taco Bells? We wanted Whataburger. My new phone is 214-463-4835. I've had that number since the 0515. And then before the 0515, it was the 9196. And then before 9196, it was Fairlane number. Oh, it was no a track phone. It was a track phone. It was a family mobile line. It wasn't Metro again. And then it was the Houston number for Metro. And then another Houston number for Metro while I was in Houston. And then 3012. 3012 was my longest number. That was my before 18 and after 18 number. Oh, I'm learning so much. Trust and LLCs and looping. So I say I'm going to get this $135 million settlement, and it just makes common sense to me. The abandonment of government, the human trafficking, which the government aided in, right, the organized crime. So I'm like, well, 135 million just makes sense because then it's going to employ me. So now I'm going to twiddle my thumbs on something that's freedom again. And then it's going to be the choosing once again the regaining of cognitive freedom over their regime. If I said no, getting slapped down by the pimp, and then uh, they're still going to want to get close to me. So it'd be instead of me living where they choose me to live, if they want to get close to me, I'll choose where they live as they come through. And then, oh, what else is it? And so $52 million, you can get 250 units, small units, and then little B yards, almost townhome size, not necessarily townhome size, but almost like townhome size. I'm not talking about the house size. I'm talking about the land spacing. Um, and so 52 million, you can get a single tract of land and build that. And so, uh, oh, what else is it? So that's the 100% investment of 52 million. And then on the other side of the road, I'd probably establish some type of um, algae, chicken feed, possibly chicken facility that would have egg production, poultry, and then live chickens. And literally put eggs and chickens at everyone's house on the 250 homes. And so then, with investment being fully upfront, it's going to be a low cost operation that is literally just the cost of tax. And so, since it's a business, it drops the taxes. So, it really makes it cheap because I'm going to be the type that I'm going to just, I'm tax loophole in it. I discover tax loophole. So, I'm going to continuously have my trust after it's established buy back that 250,000 or that 250 units. It's going to be, and then because it's a business, and then on, the operating costs because we're going to be almost charity like, and, just higher standings, the farmer's going to be expensive. Somebody's got to pay the farmer, somebody's got to pay the landscaper, somebody's got to pay the maintenance man, somebody's got to pay for the materials of upkeep. So I'm gonna personally, or my trust, not no more. It's gonna be on my trust. My trust is personally gonna loan the LLC as it's doing a purchase of the LLC, and then as it pays back its loan through the low cost of operation, which when does it ever pay it back? That it's going to repay that loan in the same time frame. I'm going to issue another loan as it's continuously have that debt, and I'm going to tax loophole it. We don't pay for debt, we pay for income. And so we're going to float through that trust, through that LLC, 250 homes. And as that occurs, hopefully, expansion occurs as well. So we can provide the God's trust to the people. Be a noble Lord. And so I even started drinking. I thought today was going to be a drinking day, but I'm still waiting for my dating apps to come through. Everyone bullshitting. 3 guys in 2019. Four guys in 2026. First guy was 50 years old. Second guy was 23 years old. The fourth guy was 35 years old. And then this last guy was 30, in his 30s. I don't know exactly how old he was. I know his name, but I forget how old he was. We're about the same age, if not the same age. So I found that very interesting. They get older in their celebration. Just sitting here waiting for the government. And that's not even getting a loan from a private business or person. That's just through my own trust establishments. So that's why 135 million just sounds perfect. But what it does is I made a post on my Facebook, Michael Bailey 931 at gmail.com is how you can find me on Facebook. That you have yourself an entity and then you establish an LLC or a trust. You could do it either way, but you establish an LLC and then you loan the startup money to your LLC, and then your LLC pays you back, which that's why you'd want to start with a trust first. But it's easier through a display and a knowledge ways. So you issue a loan to your LLC, they pay it back, but you don't keep the money, you put it in a trust. And then that trust is going to circle back and say, I'm going to purchase the stock value of this LLC slowly over time, not immediately, because that initial loan has to come through. It's not, that initial loan's not going to get paid all at once. And so, as the value of the trust builds, the trust is making an investment to buy up that company. And eventually, that trust will buy up the whole company. And then you can, as a company, whoever has that majority stock can make a decision if they're going to break down their company into smaller chunks of stock. And that's how your LLC will continuously to spider web out in the amount of uh, trust beneficiaries that you create in this trust. And you would want to create equal portions, or you want whoever you want to have in charge, or you do portions based. You would give more shares to that one than those two, even if those two came together, because those two can come together. So you would have to have one that's greater than two put together. And so maybe you have two that y- is more like you than the one person. Then you would want those two to either have to come together, or which is a good thing, or one of those two or both of them having greater value than that one. But I would think that the two would be of equal portions to that one. So, it's like however much you value people that trickle out from it. And then you start getting all your cousins and your families and whatnots, the people that you like, hey, in your trust who you're gonna leave it to. So it branches out. But you can have it in your trust as is buying that stock or that money back. because once it's public, right? So it's the first ones to it though. So whenever it's buying that stock back, that if they're allowed to, you would want like an automated system almost. It would be like to divvy up the portions of stock based off of those, and then the amount of money within the trust to be able to purchase those stocks. It's like a formula. It would have to be a formula at the same time. You know, you have to save up the money that the stock will eventually equal the value to. Anyways, and then that's how it loops. And then the tax loophole of your LLC, of your trust not having to pay taxes, is that it continuously issues loans to your business, and your business is continuously making payments, like paying a credit card with another credit card. So this month I'm going to pay this credit card with this credit card, and the next month I'm going to pay this credit card with that credit card. But since you issue your own loans, you don't have to pay interest. You can have it in the underwriting, no interest. Just pay me back when you can. Not you want to label like that either, because you never know who owns it eventually. You make it real easy for everybody, right? Automation. And then, phone charger. So that's what we're left with. We're living down under 77. And grill. None of the guys I met, besides one that's the size of a soda can, wants to talk to me. I'm like, I want to talk to you. You're the size of a soda can, guy. Which is a joke because I swear to God, I went to Venus. I went to Venus this last weekend. This is what I talked about in this hour video from last time. I went to Venus this last weekend, and they made a joke because they sent me to a house across the street from where they sent me to, and it was under construction. So it was I think it was the police, but it was and the same time I was going there, I seen Soda Can Man pulled over by the Waxahachie PD, and that's why I'm like, yep, it's the police. Because when I came back, because they're chasing me around after I come back, right? And so I come back to get gas because lo and behold, need gas after 40 miles. And there's a Midlothian police officer in the QT on Brown Street in Waxahachie, Texas. And he's in the restroom at the same time the employee's coming out the restroom. And he's on a phone. Like, I'm videoing you again. And he's on the phone for the politicalness of saying, I'm on the phone with the 18-year-old that you talked to before you're going to Venus, that's in associations. That's not the same person. They're not the same person, but they're of associations because he's mentioned something about having friends around the area. So that's where it clicks the two, that those are affiliated. And then now the police are affiliated because now the police are involved. And so it seems like that's what the reasoning is. "Oh, well, the police are involved now, and now we're really going to terrorize them." And so, because, it starts growing out the reason of establishments, their reasons of establishments, I believe, is that way. I'm working. I'm over here following Michael around. He's a hooker, drug dealer, mobster. He's, you know, running the streets, and he got all the trap house Oh, he puts it in everybody else's name. Not one of those trap houses are in his own. He is smart. I'll tell you what, he is smart. Not one of those is in his name. But he involved. We know it. I'm busy. I got to go over to Lancaster Street. I got to go to the gas station. Got to go to the gas station. It's 11 o'clock. You know it's 11 o'clock. You know what it means at 11. G-bang. Anyways, I don't want to be the last one there again. Anyways, right. And so he's over there walking out like he's on a cell phone as the imaginative thought comes to mind that the 18-year-old is at the location that they sent me to, right? Because we have to ride motorcycles. He has a white helmet. I have a white helmet. I didn't take my white helmet though. Although normally being on the highway, I probably would have took my white helmet. But for some reason, I just chose not to. And so the associated thought is that he is established over there. And then here goes the guy that was established over there being me at the QT in Waxahachie. You can leave the restroom. I'm walking out the restroom. Our cell phone data is going to match up. Observation saying he's walking out of the restroom. And there goes Mr. Bailey at the counter. And we got this 15-second clip showing Mr. Bailey at the counter. Look at this. Look at this. Let me show you. I found it. 15-second clip. He's at the counter. See, he must have come out the restroom, and there he goes. He's at the counter. He's getting gas. Why would he get gas? He just went 40 miles. That is him in that restroom. And so, Midlothian, all the way down in Ellis County, on Brown Street. You think being affiliated to such speculations of gang violence and terrorisms that the police officer in a full uniform would just use the county facilities if he was dropping someone off in the county. But then almost like Epstein, so that's very peculiar as well. I used to see police officers stopping at restrooms around town and using the restroom just, occasionally. But now you don't see them on patrol. You don't see them as often on speed traps. You don't see them on patrol. You don't see them at all. Like they're just completely non-existent. And I'm like, where the fuck is our government? They're all at the booty call. I swear to God, this is what I said in the hour video last time. I swear to God, every single government affiliation, city police, sheriffs, state police, federal government, they're all, what would you call that, permissivists to open relationships and just following the thought. They're all about following the thought process, interpretation of a thought, follow the thought, interpretation of a thought, which some of them is like the interpretation of a thought is where seem more reality like, oh, there's interpretation to it that is so complex that it has to be real of whatever interpretation represents. And so it's all about follow the crazy. Go with your gut is what they say. Anyways, I'm like 100% convinced JCP be real. Gangbang parties. And ain't nobody on these dating apps message you. They all got faceless profiles. They're all nasty. They're all mid range from attractions, you know. So just like they got to be falling out their ass or something because they're not even trying to say hello. Like, my God, they're not even real. Like, uh, pimps, I guess. I guess the only thing is pimps. I don't think drugs. I don't think politics. I don't think kids playing jokes. I guess they're just pimps, literal pimps. They're not the hoes. They are not hoes. They are the pimps. Catch them outside their employment. How would you know? I don't answer questions. How do you know how to give him money? Catch me outside the employer. My cell phone was charging. I have the same wireless charger that I bought with this phone, and it wants me to plug it into the bottom as to say it's slow charging, and the wireless charger is not coming on. The phone is refusing to activate the wireless charger. We'll do that. It says 19%. It's still gonna drop because when it's on, it drops. It's like a slow charge. It says it's damaged, but it's been saying that for like 4 years now. And the wireless charger will charge it as long as you're moving it. You put it in an off location and don't touch it. On the motorcycle, my wireless charger, that little $5 charger that they incorporated to that plastic, that little $5 wireless charger that they incorporated versus this $30 charger is better. That little $5 charger is better than a $30 name brand charger. That thing will charge it up. I'll be going down the road. Not once do I see it on the charge and it drop a charge while it's charging. Like this, it's on the charger, USB, it'll drop and charge. If it doesn't hold where it's at, it'll drop and charge. 18%. Yeah, it dropped 1%. And then I was over here with a wireless charger, right? It just acts like the phone doesn't even have the program. It doesn't even have the program to know what a wireless charger is. It just completely shut the fucking video off, Michael. I'm human trafficking. Stop the fucking video. Like, without a doubt. I said last time, my cognitive thought of like checking finances or anything like that is that I have my thought, I have my movement, and then the pimp taps me down of my cognitive thought through the roadblock of an illegal act that the governing body, the congressional body, the Supreme Court, the president himself has taken an oath. They all say that no one has this authority over another human being. You cannot manipulate somebody's mind. It is illegal. It is a crime. There is no governance that will allow somebody to condition his mind and to have cognitive imperatives. Life. No one is impaired through their life through government. These are terrorists. These are human trafficking terrorists. Genocide through their economics. Even the presidents can't pardon them out. They are economic terrorists. like a light switch too. While I'm on my Starlink, wasting my Starlink, is that pimp through the cognitive block, turning on and off a signal like a light switch, which has personality that tells you, I'm pimping you out, Michael. I'm pimping you out. Value of 135 million. What is that going to do for you? So I'm still waiting. Still waiting for my grinder. Still waiting for growler. Still waiting for my scruff. Gay dating apps to send a message through. No one's chat. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. All the gay people work on Saturday, I guess. I guess they're all working. All the gay people's at work, I guess. Shoot, you go through there, they're all live talking. My God, there's so many of them. So many people. Can't meet one. It's a Friday. They're all working retail. That's not reality. They're not real. They put all the gay people to work. We just ought to know the schedule. Like, you stupid. Like, those ain't real gay people. All the gay people's off at work. They're gonna work Saturday. They work tomorrow. Reward Saturday. Oh, we're living. That was the biggest thing to say. Oh, we're living. I don't care what they call it in America. We're living. You can pick whatever definition you want to pick. They said living is the definition. We're living. You can play stupid too. You can play stupid too. Reward on Monday. Play stupid. Economically dead in the streets. Tell them I don't recognize your ordinance. That's state law because I'm not camping. I'm not. I wasn't sheltering. I was overnight parking. I'm gonna leave when I get up. I don't plan to get up and cook some bacon. I'll probably go take a morning pee. Go drive off. It's Hooverville's what it is. That's the government saying that 1933 is realistic. We will not bail it out, and there is no liquidity value to your assets in 1933. Only 10% of America own their own homes. Who's going to buy that car when nobody's going to buy a car? Who's going to buy that house when nobody's going to buy a house? Who's going to buy your computer when nobody's going to buy a computer? You know, they'll buy the food out your fridge. You going to sell your food out your fridge? Anywho, 17%, then drop down another percent. Without a doubt.